Well, let's revisit this grouped frequency distribution. So, as we mentioned before, to list each number individually is a little too much to get into. There would be too many numbers, 42 numbers in this case, 94 down through 53. So we group them. And in this case, of course, we're still adhering to the descending order of numbers, highest to lowest. Also, you can see the sum of the frequencies tells us that there are 25 numbers involved completely. So there are 3 numbers that fall in the category 90 to 94, 4 numbers that fall in the category 85 to 89, etc. So I can answer some basic questions fairly easy. According to conventional definitions, how many people got an A? Well, 3 people got in the 90s. 3 out of 25, that's a few, 12%. What about a B? Well, there are 2 categories of B, 80 to 84 and 85 to 89. So it looks like 9 of the 25 got a B. And right away I can tell, well, gee whiz, if we decide success is an A or a B, that's a total of 12 people, 5 plus 4 plus 3, that got an A or a B. And right away, this grouped frequency distribution has done its job. It's done a good job of helping us get through this. We've answered some basic questions. So, that's a wonderful thing. And conversely, if flunking is considered to be not a success, let's say, I've got 2 scores in the 50s there. So only 2 of the 25 flunked. So this appeared to be a fairly successful quiz or test. Probably a test going up to 100. Now, there's something I want to expound on, which is the nature of the grouping. These intervals appear to the casual observer to be a width of 4. In fact, they're a width of 5. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. The widths should generally be a width of 5 or 10. I hate to say the word should, but it's so much easier to deal with 5 or 10 than it is to deal with 3 or 7. If you had some compelling reason to deal with 7, then I suppose we could list that. But 5 or 10 is so easy to deal with at a glance. Another rule is, and by the way, I hope you're impressed that that's true. Let's take the interval of 75 to 79. The average person, the casual observer, would come along and think that's a width of 4, but let's do the math. 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. That's 5 numbers. The bottom number of the interval should be a multiple of the width. So we can't start at 51 or 56. We must start with a number that's divisible by 5 because the interval width is 5. Is 90 divisible by 5? Yes, it's 18. 85 divisible by 5? Yes, that's 17, etc. So the widths are most often 5 or 10, just as a convention because it's so easy to deal with. And also, the bottom number should be a multiple of that width. If we start with 86 and went 86 to 90 or 91 to 95, that would be a mistake. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is that the widths stay 5 even if numbers aren't represented. So let's go to the bottom. 50 to 54. There is only one number that falls in that category, and it happens to be 53. Nonetheless, we begin with 50 and end with 54. 55 to 59. There's only one number that falls in that category, which is 58. Nonetheless, we begin with 55 and end with 59. So we keep these widths a constant width, irrespective of the numbers fall there or not. As I go up to the top, the highest number was 94, but even if it had been the highest number was 91, let's say I had 3 91s, I would still have a width of 90 to 94 to keep that width of 5 intact. Now, the thing to keep in mind again is we list these in descending order. Widths of 5 or 10 are generally preferred. Remember, the bottom number must be a multiple of the width, and it's a little deceiving to see numbers that appear to be just 4 apart, but actually have a width of 5, and you can use your fingers. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. That's 5 numbers. There was a debate around the year 2000, and I know many of you may have been born around then, of whether 2000 was the beginning of the next millennium, or we were going to have to wait till January 1st, 2001. And this is a serious academic debate. And of course, it's 2000. What are the years that are 1,000 years? It would be 2000 through 2999. The way some saw it, it was 2001 through 3000, which is bananas. So it's 2000 through 2999 is what we keep in mind. Of course, a lot of us may be deceased by 2999 and won't be able to testify. So anywho, that's a grouped frequency distribution, and it's really a powerful tool for representing a diverse set of numbers. It's fairly easy to do once you sit down and do it. On quiz or tests that I have in in-person classes, one thing I do to make things easier on students is I don't have the numbers listed in random order as they do here at the top, where I've got 13 numbers and then 12, and they're all over the place. To make it easy, I always put them in order just to make it easy to complete the table.